Well, hello to all of my sunflower and diamond friends. First of all, the fan's going to be blowing on me, so I'm going to look a little windblown. But it's been windy outside, so. First of all, how is everyone? I hope everyone is doing fine. I am doing good also. My Snoopy still isn't feeling like himself, but he's going to get better. We just got to give him time. So, with that being said, I'm taping this Friday night and then I'll post it for Saturday so it goes out at 2 o'clock. Today's prayer is those who are kind benefit themselves, but the cruel bring ruin on themselves. Proverbs 11:17. So, there we go. Oh, excuse me, I gotta scooch back here. All right, I've been working on US Hero, and if you did not see in my community, the post area, I did finally get the one square done. So let me bring you down, hopefully so you can see it. It is right there. It turned out pretty good. I was really pleased. And let me tell you, Sunday night when I placed that last drill, I left out a yell. I said, yay! So, and then I know I was going to let you guys pick numbers, and I still will, but I decided to come up here where the first square is, because there's a lot of I think this is what they call confetti. I'm not for sure certain, but anyway, I decided to work on this, and it's a dark brown. So anyway, let me get started here and move you down so you can see. I feel like, okay, oh, right there, maybe that'll work. Yep. I did first start going down this way, and I don't know, it wasn't lining up quite right. So then I thought I'd go this way. Well, it's still not quite lining up. I don't know if you can, let me see. Oh, here, let me use this. You see right along here, there's not the whole square is covered up. So then I went ahead, there's a hair. Go figure, it's mine. Anyway, so I decided to come here and work my way, and it seems to be working better. So it's one of those things, you know how they say you gotta play around and figure it out what's best for you. So right now, this looks like this will work pretty good. Excuse me. So anyway, oh, and let me read the comments from last week real quick. Okay, YouTube. I don't know why it disappeared. I had it so it was brought up. Yep, go figure. It disappears all the way, but I know how to bring it up now. For some reason, I gotta type in my full name and sunflowers and diamonds, which is fine, but alright. So here are the comments. There were only 4, but that's okay. Bessie Curtis, 5530, says, I'm a Kentucky girl too. I'm surrounded by mountains. The weather has been beautiful here the past few days. Your painting is looking great. It was a pleasure diamond painting with you. So thank you, Bessie Curtis for watching and commenting. Crafty Chef Diamond, she says, I left a message yesterday. Hope all goes well with your father's surgery. Good luck with the new computer system. Have a fantastic week and happy crafting. Jules and Lorraine says, we send our prayers to your father. That canvas will be great when finished. Blessings to you. Starlight Starbright 70 said, hello, my beautiful friend. Prayers for your dad and sweet Snoopy. Our fur babies sure do scare us sometimes, don't they? Glad to hear you had a pretty good week. I can't believe how quickly time is flying by. Another year almost behind us. Hope this week is filled with many blessings. Hugs from New Mexico. Thank you, Star, and sending hugs from Kansas to you and Wolf. So, yep, those were the comments. Let me do this here real quick. So anyway, I got a lot to share with you guys. It turns out I don't have to work on Sunday. First it looked like I was going to have to, but I don't, which is good. But it is getting closer. Tomorrow nobody works at all at the credit union. And then Sunday they go in from 1 until, I don't know exactly, which they don't know either. The system will be live, so they want to do some things while we are closed. That way, if there's any issues, the, what do you want to call them? Oh, I'm trying to think. There's a certain terminology, but it's not coming to me. The ones who provide their service to the credit union. Anyway, let me get diamond painting here and quit. I got to do two things at once, not just talk. Anyway, so yeah, and then Monday we go in, and we're not open. They still want to make sure everything is working, because we'll open up Tuesday. So anyway, there's a lot just going on yet. I am going to have to purchase me a light pad and that vacuum pen. I went and got a different tweezers. Let me show you like this. See this? It's double, because this end is really slanted. Oops, right there. Sorry. And then this end is more flat. Goodness, my eyes are off or something. Anyway, so yes, get through this weekend, and hopefully when we open the doors on Tuesday, everything will be going really good. So I'm praying that it all works out for them. And the reason why I don't have to work is because I don't work with the members at all. I just take care of all the scanning and the files. So they said there was no need for me to come in, which is fine. And the one, he's like the assistant to the vice president, which she's kind of my supervisor. Anyway, he said he'll be showing me how to do things in that system. So I said, that is fine. But we went ahead, well, another guy, he's like he's member finance something, I can't think. Anyway, he came to my office and he says, let's make sure that you're up and running. And I told him, I said, I've been able to log in and everything. So he was glad to hear that. And he did have me change my password. So I wouldn't have problems later. So, yes, I'm taking from here to put here to get this all to line up. I know I'm probably making more work for myself, but you know, sometimes we gotta do what we gotta do. Anyway, so there's quite a bit I need to tell you. In Hayes, which is where I work and which is about 20 minutes to the east of Ellis here. I guess Saturday night, I want to say it was around 11, they had a call come in to 911, and sounds like it was not good. It was domestic violence, unfortunately. And so the Hayes police, go, and there was a officer who went, and he got to the home. I don't know for sure the whole story, but unfortunately this young police officer, he was only 32 years old, he was shot, and he did die. He leaves a wife and 2 young children. So yeah. And the lady, the one who I guess called 911, had left her house. And my understanding, I don't know if she was getting ready to get into her vehicle, but I don't know if that was her husband or significant other. It doesn't matter. Well, he came out and he rammed into her vehicle. She then ran to a neighbor's to call 911, and that's when the police got there. And then I guess he called his dad, and my understanding is this person who, which one to say? How do I want to say it? He was the person who shot the cop. Anyway, I guess he called his dad and told his dad that he did not want to go to jail, so he ended up taking his own life. Now, I don't know if he did it while he was talking to his dad. Like I said, I didn't hear all the details. It was just unfortunate. We had a young police officer who, was protecting the community of Hayes, and he lost his life. Anyway, then Tuesday, they brought his body back. I guess they had airlifted him to Hutchinson. I guess Hayes Med maybe couldn't do anything for him. I don't know, but that's where they took him. And then Tuesday, they brought his body back to Hayes, so they could get ready for the funeral. And I seen some of them bringing him back to Hayes, and what they did is from Hutch, they come up I-35 to Salina, and then take I-70 to Hayes. And people lining the streets in Hayes, the route that they took to take him to the mortuary. And one of the ladies in at work said he wasn't in a casket. I guess they had him wrapped in the American flag. So, and then today was his funeral service. And Fort Hayes has what they call Gross Memorial Coliseum. It's a very big, coliseum, a building, because they do basketball, state, volleyball, you name it, everything's done there. And when they know they're going to have, a big crowd, that's where and they knew because, he was a police officer, so the Hayes Police Department, the Sheriff's Department, you have Highway Patrol, you have state troopers, the Hayes firefighters. So they had a good turnout as far as I know. Well, then today, because in my office I have two windows. One's this way, no wait, one's this way and one's this way, okay? And so I just happened to look at it one time and I seen a helicopter. And I wasn't really thinking anything of it. And then I thought, oh, they must have life watched somebody out. And I still, okay, whatever. And then I seen it go by again. And then it dawned on me that's because they probably were flying over, the cemetery at the time, because they probably had them getting ready to put it. They had that part of the service at the cemetery, and if I remember right, they usually have a helicopter that flies over, kind of like just to make sure nothing happens. And then I didn't do a lot during my lunch hour, but I did leave from our parking lot and went over. And I tell you what, the traffic was, oh my goodness, there was a lot of traffic going on. So, anyway, so yeah, that was what happened in Hayes over the weekend. And then, oh goodness, my dad had his eye doctor's appointment Wednesday. Yeah. In Garden City, so my brother took him down. Well, they weren't able to do what they wanted to do. I guess Dad's eye pressure was really high. And then there was something else. We really didn't, they kind of told us, but yet we wasn't quite. Hold on. Okay. Anyway, sorry about that. And now he's going to have to go to Wichita to see a specialist down there. So my brother's going to have to take him down there. And then today, my sister had to take Dad back to Garden City again because they wanted to check on his eye pressure, and luckily it came down. All she said, it was a 6 and it was good. So it's like, okay, that's good to know. And then first his appointment was supposed to be Wednesday. They called yesterday and said, we'll see him Wednesday. Well, then they called back later and said, no, we want him to come in on Tuesday because I guess whatever they saw, they want him to come in sooner, which is fine. So hopefully they can take care of this so Dad can hopefully see again. It's kind of hard for him, which I wouldn't doubt it. In a way, I hope when they do this, they would numb him really good or put him out, because he has a hard time. And you know how it is. You got them looking at your eye to shine a bright light in. If you've ever had that done, it's just uncomfortable. And then, like my sister said, they come at you because they want to look at you, and oh my goodness, and then you're blinking constantly, and then they say, don't blink, don't blink. Well, I'm sorry, how am I not supposed to blink? You're coming at me with your fingers or with something, and it's like, So yeah, I understand where my dad's coming from. And what makes it really bad, Dad doesn't put eye drops in his eyes. He's never done it by himself. Mom's always done it. So, anyway, so they said Dad has to be down there by 9:30, which is fine. And then they said also pack an overnight bag. So yesterday I called my brother. He said, I still have my overnight bag packed. I'll just throw in what I need and we'll let it go at that. So if you can, just pray that they can do something for Dad next week. Because, like I said, Dad really wants to be able to do things. And he did tell my sister today he was going to stay home. He wasn't going over by my brother. And tomorrow it's supposed to be very windy. We've been very fortunate. Hasn't been all that windy. Yesterday was the start. Today it was some, but tomorrow the wind's supposed to, I think, blow between 30 and 40 miles per hour. So yeah, it's going to be very windy. And then they say that we're going to get rain too. I think start of Sunday night all the way to Wednesday. So yeah. Anyway, and I do want to apologize. I just realized I had gum in my mouth. So if I was smacking it, I apologize. I forgot to take it out. That's my bad. Put it in because we ate supper and just needed something to freshen my mouth up, and I forgot to take the darn gum out. Oh well, I apologize. So yeah. Anyway, gotta clip this off. Tomorrow my husband isn't working. He took the day off tomorrow. He was going to go fishing. And I said, okay, that's fine. You can go fish. And he was going to go to a different lake somewhere. Well, then, I don't know why, he said that, and I ended up looking at my phone, and I said, you may not want to go fishing. He goes, why? I said, it's going to be very windy. Because at first they said the wind was going to be 25 to 30. And now they've bumped it up to 30 to 40. And it's like, oh my goodness. You go from one extreme to another. Which is nothing new for Kansas. But anyway, I know, I don't know what I'm doing here. I take from this, and then sometimes I take from my tray. The tweezers, the slanted one, sure is helping, but I think I really want to try and purchase that vacuum pen without the cord. I need a cordless one. So, anyway. And also, I would like to ask you if you would pray for my friend. She's the waitress down here at the diner. She's really having a hard time right now. Every morning I send her a message to let her know I'm thinking of her and everything. And then I always ask her how she's doing, and she says, not good, not good. So I tried the best I can in talking to her. She hasn't had any luck trying to find a full-time job, and I just don't get it. There's so many businesses in Hayes that are looking for help. She goes and applies, and you'd think they would call, but they don't. Which I know in times past they would say they have to advertise it, even though they have somebody in mind. But it's like, goodness, I just don't get it. And she really would like to find something where she can get benefits, which I don't blame her. Because I did ask her, I said, do you want to continue as a waitress? Because, I mean, you do an excellent job. She's awesome. She says, I love being a waitress, but she said, I really need to find something with benefits. I said, no, I said, I understand. So I told her, I said, I'm going to keep my ears open. Hopefully, if I hear something, I shall let you know. And then today, I said, how you doing on your diamond paintings? And I had purchased those 3 dream catchers, and one I sent to Michelle Morgan of Diamonds for Better Tomorrow. And then the other 2 I gave to my friend, and she says I'm still working on them. And I told her, I said, I have some diamond paintings for you. I said, so I'd really like to get together with you. And she never answered me, which is fine. But I think because next week, Monday, the credit union is closed, I'm going to see if I can meet up with her. Because I really would like to give her this box. I think it would help her out. Because I know how she's feeling. You know, you can't get a job. You just feel down and out. I know it's it's her mental health. So, like I said, I tried to send her, I don't try. I send her a message every morning telling her hello and asking her how she's doing. And today, she said today was worse than any other day. And it's like, oh, man. So, but if you could keep her in your prayers, I would appreciate it. And just say, pray for Jackie's friend. That's all you have to do. And like I said, I would appreciate it a lot. Because I don't know what to do for her. I try. But I told her, I says, I know what you're going through. I said, I went through that too. When I left the children's center. Getting hot all of a sudden. When I left the children's center, there was it was a travel plaza slash Sloshki's. It was a sandwich thing. So I went and I worked there, but I wasn't working full time because they didn't. Because I did the part of baking the bread, so we weren't full time. It was only part time, and so I was looking and looking, and then I got on with the one motel, so I would do the breakfast thing. I was there, and I think I was working part-time at the credit union because she didn't want anybody full-time for that position. She just needed part-time, which was fine. So, I was actually working 2 jobs. I'd work the credit union Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then the hotel Saturday and Sunday. Well, the first motel, it was Best Western. I worked there from, was it September or October until around after Christmas. And then I went to a different hotel and I did the same thing. I was doing the breakfast and had different, people working with me. And then COVID came along, and I told my husband, I said, I can't do that because I knew I was going to have to wear a mask, and you know, I did wear the mask when I had to, but being there in a hotel and when you're running around and you have to have something over your face, it was just, I knew it was going to be difficult for me because I struggle sometimes. You know, I'm not real overweight, but I am overweight a little. And you know how it is. You get to working, and to me, I need fresh air. If I gotta rebreathe my own air, yeah, I knew I was probably gonna be passing out a lot. So I went and told the manager of the hotel. I said, "I'm giving you my 2 weeks notice. I'm quitting." Plus, half the time I was doing a more than I felt like I should have been. But you know, whatever. So I just worked part time at the credit union, and then um, finally she decided to go ahead and hire me on full time. So I was very blessed by that. So, but yet, like I said, I know where my friend's coming from. I just wish I could help her more in finding something. I'm just not having any luck. So, anyway. Okay, well, I got 5 rows done. That's pretty good, I think. I'm going to use my straightener here. I just want to try to get these, but I don't want them to pop off either. Where is my... Oh, here it is. Whoops. Got this plastic here. And then put the ruler down and see if I can push against it. Maybe that'll help. But I'm very lucky. This first square here, the design, it looks like it has like a circle with a stick. So that's what this whole square is. And then I'll probably, when I get close to being done, and then I'll have you guys choose a number from 1 through 70, but you won't be able to choose 25 or the number 1. And then we'll see, and then I'll work on the next. Unless I decide to go ahead and start going across. I don't know. I just thought if I kind of change it up, because I didn't want it to become boring for me. And I've been able to diamond paint this week. A little bit. If it's not a lot, it is a little bit. So I feel like that's a good thing. And the way I figured it, the first square over here, it took me 2 weeks to do it, which is pretty good, I think. And then it's funny, I sent this, I took a picture, and I sent it to my one aunt, and she said, "Oh, wow, that's pretty." She said, "Oh, you're going to have that done by Veterans Day." Oh, I don't think so, but okay, if you think that, I'm going to let you. I said, if I get it done by next year, by September, I'll be happy with that. Oh, goodness. And then I sent a picture to my other aunt. I have quite a few aunts. Anyway, should say 7 of them. I did have 8, but one passed away back in 1993 or 1994. Anyway, oh my goodness. And so I sent a picture to this other aunt. She lives in Las Vegas, Nevada. And the first aunt that I sent it to, she lives in South Carolina. Anyway, when I sent it to the one in Nevada, she says, what was it? Oh, that's pretty. And then she said, it's a pocket. And I said, yeah. And I thought I sent her the picture before I even started, this whole thing. And so I resent that picture, and she says, oh my. It's like, yeah, it's oh my, all right. I don't know what Jackie got herself into, but it's okay. Oh, and I seen one that someone did and posted on Diamond Grandma's Facebook page. It's an eagle. Oh my gosh, it's just simply beautiful. And some people asked where she got it, and she said she got it from Temu, but she said you have to make so you local warehouse something, and then that's how you get it. It's like, okay, well, I've never ordered from Temu, so I guess I'm not going to worry about it right now, because I got this one to work on. But it is a very beautiful picture that this person did. The eagle looks like it's flying. It has the American flag behind it and everything. So yeah, it is beautiful. So let's see, what else do I want to tell you? That's about it. Oh, and since with Dad's appointments, I guess the clinic down in Garden City canceled all his appointments down there for the time being. And so I was supposed to take him down there at the end of October. Well, now I won't have to, but I will take him to his VA appointment in Hayes on Monday. And then after that, I won't have to, I can be at home and spend vacation the way I want to, I hope. So yeah, so we'll see, which is fine. I mean, my mom and dad took care of us kids when we were little, and I feel like it's our turn to help take care of them, That's just the way I am, and that's the way we was brought up. They took care of us, and now it's our turn to take care of them. And it's funny, there are times I threaten Dad, should I put you over my knee and spank you? And he gives me a dirty look. It's like, well, behave then, Dad. Really? It's like, you would have said the same thing if I would have been acting out like that. So it's good that you can kid around with your parents now. So and I called him yesterday. What did I call him for? Oh my goodness, I can't think. There was a reason why I called him. Oh yeah, I want to see if he got reimbursed from when we went down to Garden City at the beginning of September. And I just mailed it last week Thursday. I didn't think it would be in because it'll be an automatic deposit. He said, oh, it won't be here yet for a while. I said, okay, Dad, it's okay. I'm just checking. I said, don't forget to keep an eye on it. And I said, if it don't come in, you need to let me know. I said, I don't see your checking account. I said, you and Mom do your own stuff. I said, so if it don't come in, you're going to have to tell me so I can call down and talk to them and let them know. Oh, okay then. So, well, if you want to get reimbursed, you're going to have to tell me things. I don't know. So, and then I said, I'm so glad you signed a power of attorney and this other type of a paper for the VA. So when they call, they always say, "Is Larry there?" And I go, "No, but I'm his daughter." I said, "You may talk to me." Well, can you verify his birthday? Yes, I give his birthday. Okay, then I guess I can talk to you. It's like, well, yeah, I know you can. It's like, it should be in your computer system. Just bring up his name and you should see it. It's like, goodness gracious. And I do wish people would communicate. I mean, if you've got clients, patients that call in to tell you things, put a note in your computer system somewhere. I'm sure there's a space that says notes. Why don't you put that in? So that way, whoever ends up calling, if it's not the same person all the time, if it's a different person, they can read the notes and say, "Oh, wait a minute, I got to do this first," or, "Hey, I got to call her, but it says not to call until this time." But it's like, it's like you have to communicate, people. It's like communication is very, very important, so we know what's all going on. Anyway, I think it is. If it's not important, okay, I'm sorry, but to me it is. Because I know they stress that at work, in the, not the news, I'm sure it's in the new system that you can put notes, but even in the old one, they always said there's, I don't know what, it's a special word, but it's a notes section. So, if you gotta know something about the person, say, like, for example, my husband, he's deaf. They may want to put that in the notes section. He is deaf, but he does have a hearing aid. He does read lips. If you put that in there, then all other people, or all other ones who work at the credit union will know this. I mean, because we have branches pretty much in different parts of Kansas, and if I were to go, or if he were to go in there and he says who he is and gives them his account number, they bring that up and then they'll see that in the notes, like, hey, he is deaf, but he wears a hearing aid. He can read lips. If they know how to sign, they can sign to him. It's like, that's all you guys need to do. It's like, I get so aggravated. But anyway, that's how I feel. Alright, I better check my time. Oh, 43 minutes. Okay, now, oh, there it is. He flew right up top here. Whoa. Come on. And there was something else I was going to tell you guys, and then now I forgot. I was prattling along. I forgot what I was going to talk about. Okay. A square drill, why are you moving like that? Stop it. Oh boy. part that I'm looking forward to working on is the flag over here, the flag on his sleeve, and I'm excited for his boots. I think that'll be pretty cool. And then he's got a helmet down there and something else there. So yeah. Oh, would you believe I've been up since 2 o'clock this morning? I know. It's ridiculous, but I don't know. I got up, had to go bathroom, crawled back in bed, and there I was, wide awake. It's like, oh, well, I guess. So then, I don't think I got up exactly until 3. And I brought Snoopy into bed with me. So we laid there until about 3:30. He stayed laying in bed with my husband. I got up and I came over here and diamond painted for a while. And I think that's when I decided that instead of going down or over like that, I had to start here. So that's why I'm doing it this way. I don't know. But, you know, everybody does things different. We can't all diamond paint the same way. We got to do what works for us. That's how I want to say it. See, and just like me, I got to take my glasses off. There's bifocals in there, but sometimes it's just better if I take them off to do my work. So, yep. So, anywho, whoa. Oh, and before I forget, I try to do it. If you get a chance, check out on YouTube. She's on YouTube. Diamonds for Better Tomorrow, Michelle Morgan. I don't think she put a short video out, but I don't think she's done anything because she's in the process of moving to Florida for a while. So she was getting some things taken care of in North Carolina before she left for Florida. So if you get a chance, go check out her channel. And I've been posting some other diamond painters channels, diamond painting creators, their channels in my description. So if you want, go check them out. I try to give everybody a shout out. There's Diamonds for a Better Tomorrow. There's L&L Diamond Painting and More. That's Leah and Lenore. There's KY Philly Diamond Painting and More. And that's Sherry. She's in Kentucky. There's Starlight Star Bride. She's in New Mexico. There's Diamonds by Tita. Let's see. Can't think if I know where she's. Oregon, I think. No, that's Lazy Retired Granny. She's from Oregon. I gotta find out where Diamonds by Tita is. Oh my goodness. It's kind of. And then there's Diamonds by Grandma. And that's Lynn. She's in Mississippi. And there's Miss Southern Belle. She's in Georgia. That way, if she's listening, she'll know I tried to sound just like her. In Georgia. Oh my. I'm not from the South. I'm a German, Russian, Volga, whatever. So, I know I don't always talk the right way because I know when I say crick, I say crick. But, that's just how it is. There's some words you're going to say right and some you're not, because that's just how, you're brought up, and that's how your parents and grandparents talk, so, it just comes to you like that. So, anyway, or I like to say anywho, okay, run that along there. Yeah, I wish they would make these squares a little big so you can put your drill and then help line up your drills on your canvas. I think that would work better. Then again, maybe I'm wrong, but it wouldn't hurt to try in my books. So, alright, not that I don't want to jibber jabber more, but I'm just kind of repeating myself. Oh, I did find out that my godson's youngest sister, she is deaf. So they're dealing with that right now. So maybe next weekend I can go down there and see him and visit with them and help them find some stuff out and help them. I think it'll work out. It's just until I can get down there and talk to them and share some things. Because as far as I know, they're going to teach her American Sign Language, which is good. And I think they're looking into maybe getting her a cochlear implant. My cousin told me that they have to see, I think they have the evaluator or something, I can't remember. So, and then yesterday I sent a message to my cousin's wife, and I said, I know you're in school, but I just want to say hey and see how you're doing. Well, then this morning she replied back, she said, I think she said she's doing good, but she's been praying a lot for her daughter and son-in-law, because that's the mom and dad for this little girl. And she says they're very stressed, and she says the two older ones can sense this, which I'm sure they can. And then she asked me if I had information that I could share, and I said I have some. I said I have to look for it and put it together, and then I can try to bring it down by it. But I said this weekend wasn't going to work, because at the time I thought I was going to have to work Sunday. And she said, well, it's not going to work for them either, because they're going to Manhattan, because I think they go to a football game, but I'm not sure, which is fine. So she said, I'll check and see how next week is. So then I did send my sister a message, because she's the godmother to the older girl. I said, what are you doing next weekend? And she said, well, I don't know, which I know it's kind of hard for her. So I told her, I said, if you're not doing anything, maybe you can go with me, and then we can go down there, and that way we can maybe try to give the parents a break and spend time with the kids while they can just go do something. So we'll see how that goes. So yeah, I got my work cut out, because tomorrow morning, since he's at home, I know he'll sleep in. It's like, wow, I don't get to sleep in. I could, but I just know I got so much going on in my head that I think, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, and I do. I want to get laundry going. I want to sit in diamond pane. I need to go upstairs and look through some boxes to see what I have for deaf and hard of hearing to share with them and everything. So yeah. Oh, tomorrow's gonna be busy, but that's just the way it goes. And if it's gonna be windy, I might as well stay in the house and go do that. So, all right. And here's my shirt again. Diamonds for better tomorrow. It's my whip and chat shirt. Let's see if I can pull that down. Yeah, I know. I got another shirt underneath. That's why I'm hot. But, oh well. All right, guys. I'm going to say goodbye. Have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful week. I don't know if anybody else is going to get rain. I do. Supposedly, we are to get some rain. So, we'll see what happens. We may be all swimming away. I don't know. Because from Sunday until Wednesday, that's a lot of rain. So, we'll see. Oh, okay. I love you all. And I shall see you next weekend. Maybe. Unless I have to go see my cousin and his daughter and them. Then I may not get to a whip and shop. I'll see. But we'll just put it, it's up in the air for now, okay? All right, I love you guys, and I'll see you the next go around. Bye.